Dreams come and go, tears fell and melted the snow. Time's a great healer, it takes away the pain, but it just leaves you alone. Many years have passed, we still remember them. The music and the songs given to us by those three.
And John's a real tour de force, isn't he?
Oh, definitely.
You meet him once, you'll never forget him. I think there's some sort of legendary words. But, you know, when you meet somebody, he's an absolute diamond, and he wants to keep the legend of these artists alive.
Yeah. I mean, the passion that he's got for the Big Bopper is outstanding. He's out of this world, and he's such a lovely guy, and we know he's going to do it. If anyone can get him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it's him.
You're probably right. You know, you hear a good tune and it sticks with you. Sometimes you hear kind of modern tunes and they don't kind of lodge themselves in your brain like the old ones do. I think personality as well, when you think of all the great singers like Little Richard and Fats Domino and all these guys, they were unique personalities. Yeah, they didn't sound like anybody else. They had their own thing going on, and they were remarkable guys. You know?
Yeah, and I sort of played in, over the years, lots of bands. One of the first bands I played in was a club band, and we used to do a lot of rock and roll. We used to do a lot of the stuff back then, and wear the jeans and the zip-up jacket and what have you. And so I've always loved it, and it's a kind of music I can play. It's a style I like, you know, so it sort of fits what I do.
It's a wonderful event, wonderful occasion. So why you here today?
Well, I met all these wonderful people in Clearlake, and I've remained friends for about 5 years. All Buddy Holly, Richie Valens and Big Bopper fans.
The big question I've asked everyone who've wandered around it is why? Why those three? Why those titans of music?
Well, Buddy Holly, for me, I've been a fan since I was 5. I got into music via my mum. She used to play the music a lot when I was younger, so it was my first musical memories, really. And Buddy Holly's always been my idol. The music's amazing. The 50s music's always spoken to me more than the modern day stuff.
What an afternoon they had, what a party. It was just rock and roll all the way. The wonderful John Cumlin there at Junkyard Studios.
Sorry, we're not there. No, I'm talking. You're doing all the talking. I wanted to say something, but you said another. It's too late now.
No, carry on.
So take care, everyone. We're really sorry we're not there, but we will be back next year.
It's your fault.
Contrary to what John's been sending you on mail, I am still here. It is me.
It's his fault.
I am alive.
Yeah, just.
So.
Yeah, love you.
Yeah,
miss you.
Love you all.
And we'll see you as soon as we can.
Buddy Holly and Richie Valens are both in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but JP, the Big Bopper, Richardson is not, and I think that is tragic.
Hello, baby. Do I what? Will I what? Oh, baby, you know what I like.
There's a scrap metal merchant who's obsessed with the Big Bopper and wants to get him inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We had a great time meeting John at Sugar Hill, where Bopper, he recorded Chantilly Lace. He's a nut, you know? He's a lovable nut.
Hello, baby. Oh, you sweet thing.
John wrote the lyrics to the song Bopper and Me, and I put some music to it and tip our hat to the Bopper.
Cause I'm heaven sent but hell bent to relight the Big Bopper's flame. Will I what? Will I
Any band that was anybody traveling through the Midwest of the United States came through and played the surf. It was high on the list of places that people wanted to play.
So many people came up and they told me, you know, I was here. I saw Buddy, I saw Richie, I saw the Big Bopper, I was here. And there's this look in their eye when they tell you that, and it's magic.
When we walk into the surf, it does take us back, especially when we're dressed in our outfits. We really do feel like teenagers again.
Credited for the very first music video that was ever produced, and that in itself is an incredible accomplishment.
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail hanging.
Everybody remembers Chantilly Lace. I mean, it's one of the most popular songs, one of the favorite songs of this winter dance party weekend.
We'd already heard the record, you know, to see him do it live was a big thrill.
But ultimately, he was a DJ first. And when you go back to this early time in rock and roll, being a DJ was so important.
KRIB was the top 40 radio station at that time, playing all the new music, you know, getting the audience to know Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper.
My name is Austin Alsop. My dad was Tommy Alsop, who we lost last year. He was the guitar player for Buddy Holly on the fateful night that the music died here in Clearlake, Iowa, at the surf ballroom.
As a pilot, I honestly believe that there was an instrumentation misunderstanding, could have been some weather affecting the aircraft. I believe the pilot was competent in his ability and may have misinterpreted an instrument.
I hadn't intended to, but early the next morning I was impelled to go to the crash site and see it as it would have been. The weather was similar to how it was that day. Snow lay thick on the ground. The crumpled bodies were found the next morning, frozen solid right here. We had to dig down 3 foot to find the spot. It was that deep. Only the pilot was still strapped to the seat in the mangled wreck. JP was found 500 yards away. I cried. Why? This was the day the music died. This was the end of classic rock and roll. Over time, Buddy Holly and Richie Valens were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I hope the day will come when people recognise the true contribution JP made to the movement as a whole. It's been a long journey. It wasn't the journey I expected, but it's changed me.